So, I'd like to share what I consider one of my favorite success stories so far. Now, I've mentioned before that I don't follow people after I've connected them. So, I consider success to be a match connection when two people are interested in speaking to each other after bios and photos. But one of my hard rules is that I do not want someone posting on someone else's behalf. You must post for yourself. And there are multiple reasons for this because the person has to be serious enough to look for themselves and then be communicative enough, and also then they can be honest about what they specifically want versus what other family members want for them. But the one instance where I'll make a small exception is when children submit for their parents. In these cases, the parents are bought into the idea. They just need a little bit of extra help, maybe with the technology, maybe with the whole process, just because they aren't familiar with it a lot of the time. And so, yeah, I do have a decent amount of kids submitting on parents' behalf. And a lot of the times it's kind of a sad situation where the parent had been in a marriage that was either abusive or unfulfilling in some way, and that they eventually got a divorce or that they were widowed. And then the kids, grew up and they want to find happiness for their parents. Anyway, I do love matching for candidates like this because they have a small pool and sometimes it's just unconventional. They just don't know where to go to find matches. And so I was able to facilitate a match connection between two people in their 50s. And the male counterpart was able to, he communicated with me directly, but the female counterpart, she had the help of her daughter. And honestly, these are not easy matches to make just because a lot of these people are very established in their specific locations. There is obviously some background information that's happening, and so we have to work around a lot of things. There's multiple people involved with their children and all of those things. So they're not easy matches to make, but they're fulfilling. And coming from a South Asian background, there's definitely a mindset with maybe the older generation who have made a lot of sacrifices for their children. And there's a sense of guilt involved for the children that, their parents weren't able to pursue their own happiness or sometimes stayed in toxic relationships because it was better for the children. And so just the fact that I'm able to facilitate kind of like happiness or trying to find happiness a second time around in the former relationship is just really nice. And you know what? I have no idea how these are going to end up. I don't follow them. If they give me updates, I would love to hear those updates. However, I just think that the fact that we're trying is a good place to start.